Hey everyone, Julian here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to warp samples in Ableton. I've gotten a lot of questions about this because I work with samples a lot in my videos, and a lot of people are wondering like how do you get samples warped, how you get them in time, and what is the most sort of efficient and effective way to do this. So today I'm going to be showing you how to do that. So to start off with, I have this sample. It's the song Comforter by Shy. You may recognize this from a few lo-fi house tracks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this and I'm just going to drag it into an audio track here, and I'm going to go into that and unwarp it. So this is an important step. Whenever you're working with audio, you want to try to keep it as natural as possible. In some cases you want it to be kind of like, all time stretched and warped around, but as far as just trying to get your samples into Ableton and get them, workable, you really want to just get it as natural as possible. And when I say as natural as possible, I mean, just like I said, like unwarped, not being time stretched in any way, not being pitched, just the raw sample as it is as an audio file, just completely without being warped or time stretched or anything like that. Once you do that, what you're going to want to do is go into the file, and it's actually already done here, but I'll do it with a different part of the track just to show you. You're going to want to go into your file and basically just find the first kick or basically the one. So when I say the one, I'll show you the song. You can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I have latency with my mic, so it's a little bit off, but you can kind of count that like 1, 2, 3, 4. The beats, you want to find the one. It doesn't matter necessarily, like it doesn't have to be the beginning of the song, but just the one of whatever sort of passage or section you're trying to take. So here I'll do like... There. Right there is it. So let's go here, and I'll zoom in a little bit, and I'm just going to get into the beginning of that transient there. Perfect. Maybe a little bit over. Great. It's done. So once that has happened, you can see, and this is perfectly synced up, at least on the first hit. The first hit doesn't have, it's right on the one, basically. It doesn't have any space. It's not like this. It's not like this. You just have it perfectly set so the first hit lines up with the first count in Ableton. What you're going to do after that is you're going to start turning the BPM of your project file up or down. And what you're going to do is basically, as you can see, as I move this down, you can see these transients here, or these like hits, these sort of like peaks in the waveform moving. And what you want to do is you want to get those synced up using this. So you actually really... I'm not even really looking at the BPM. I'm more just looking at the audio file and seeing what's happening. And as you can see, once we get it pretty close here, you can go kind of slower. But now, once I have this, it looks pretty good. Sometimes you have to check because like here, as you can see, it's not in time. It's going out. So let's try. Okay, there we go. Now I think it's good. And then you can check like later in the track as well and see if that is synced up, which... Okay, everything looks pretty solid there. It's a little bit hard to see when there's not like super strong drums, but you can do this with other instruments. I'll show you that in a second. Like you can totally do this with anything as long as you can count it. So now that I have this synced up, I'll turn on the metronome. And there we go. The sample is synced and it's unwarped. So again, it's just playing through naturally and we have the right BPM in Ableton. So once you do this, you can warp it, so just click that little warp thing, and now when you move the tempo up and down, I'll move this up to like 150. It's always going to be perfectly synced. So again, you can do this with anything. It doesn't have to just be, something with like super strong drums. Let's see if there's something in here. Here, I'll grab like a guitar loop from a sample pack, and you can see what I'm talking about. So I'll go in here and I'll just grab a quick little guitar loop. Again, I'm not really too focused on getting something that I would really use here, and I'm more just trying to get a little loop. Okay, here we go. It's taking a second to pull up. So let's just grab whichever is the first one here. And okay, so this says it's at 120 BPM, but I'm going to unwarp it. And so we're still at 150 BPM. So you can see that this is not synced up. You can see how this would sort of be off because none of these hits, I mean, some of them are lining up with the different lines here, but for the most part, it's not really synced up. So what we can do is we can start bringing this down. And as you can see, again, it's moving. And once we get it to 120, you can see that it's perfectly synced up. Each one of these starts right on the beat. And now, and this is completely unwarped. So again, all you have to do is just unwarp it, get it all clean, figure out where the 1 is, and then use the BPM to just sort of move the thing around until everything lines up, and then you can listen to it with the metronome, and once it works, it works. Then you can warp it, and you can put it at any tempo. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Make sure to let me know what you think of this video in the comments, and like this video, subscribe, and maybe even share the video if it really helped you out. Check out my sample packs in the description, and I will see you guys again tomorrow for another tutorial.